Good day everyone, this is Group 11 presentation. We'll be discussing on charitable trusts for relief of poverty. I will give the platform to my colleague to explain better.
But before we proceed, I would like to define charitable trust in which the relief of poverty falls under. According to the Status of Business Act 1601, a charitable trust is defined as a relief for the aged, poor, and impotent people. Also, Lord McNaughton in Commissioner of Income Tax vs. Pencil state the four purposes of which a charitable trust can be, and they are trust for the advancement of religion, trust for the relief of poverty, trust for the advancement of education, and also trust for any other purpose which is beneficiary to the community but does not fall under the preceding. Our main focus today is on the trust for the relief of poverty.
Trust for the relief of poverty is a type of charitable trust that aims at poverty alleviation. It is important to know that a person is anybody that cannot maintain a modest standard of living. The general rule for charitable trust is that it must be for public benefits, but the rule in relation to trust for the relief of poverty is a bit relaxed. That is, it can be targeted at a specific group of people. It can be family members or employees.
For a trust for relief of poverty to be valid, it must be within the object of God. Therefore, in Resanders Trust Will, where gift was given for the working class, for the relief of poor, it was held that working class does not qualify as the phrase poor, and in such case, it was held that it was not a trust for the relief of poverty.
The case of the Cold Trust further explains the meaning of charitable trust for the relief of poverty. In that case, a testator created a trust to give funds to orphans and widows of employees, of deceased employees of the bank. And the bank trustees were given the authority to decide what persons fell under this category. The issue before the court was to decide whether it was a valid charitable trust was created, and to what extent can a person be said to be living in poverty. The judgment of the court was that a valid charitable trust was created, and the reason for this judgment was because it was not to the public at large, but was focused on a particular section of the society, and it fulfilled the purpose of relieving financial distress. Furthermore, for a person to be said to be living in poverty, it does not have to be completely bankrupt or homeless. It just has to not be able to afford basic need for an everyday life.
In Olabisi's case, it was held that trust for the support of specific group of people, such as the elderly, will be classified as charitable trust under relief of poverty, even if the beneficiaries are not in absolute destitution or grinding poverty.
The Guardian is recognized as an authority under the head of trust for the relief of poverty. It confirms that charitable trusts aimed at alleviating financial hardship are valid even when directed at a narrow group of beneficiaries. The reasoning behind the decision of this case is that reducing poverty directly benefits society by reducing reliance on the state, so even small or private classes of beneficiaries can qualify.
A case under charitable trust for relief of poverty is the case of Ago-Iwoye. In this case, Ago-Iwoye, who is a testator, distributed the shopmaker to all the boys in the Faram district and its surroundings. There was an issue whether this is a charitable trust for relief of poverty. The court held that it is not a charitable trust for relief of poverty because there was no restriction for the poor. It was distributed to everybody irrespective of their financial status. The court held that this is not a charitable trust for the relief of poverty.
In Regalum's case, a testatrix repeated her property to some sort of justice, and she instructed the trustees to use the property for maintaining the temporary home of ladies of limited means. So the will further stated that if the home became unnecessary, then the money should be distributed to the ladies of limited means who need of such assistance. So the court in that case held that the trust that was created for maintaining the temporary home of ladies of limited means is a valid charitable trust. The alternative provision does not destroy the validity of the charitable trust. This case generally posits that trusts created for persons of limited means are valid charitable trusts because they relate to the relief of poverty.
The rule on relief of poverty is more liberal because any purpose that relieves poverty or prevents poverty is beneficial for the government as it lifts the burden off of them, thereby reducing taxes that equally benefit tax-paying citizens.